Hi, my name is, Pilot. I don't go by that anymore because all the pilots in New Mexico are rapists and murderers and kidnappers, so I don't use that name anymore. But, I survived a deadly attack by, the, United States Air Force and Albuquerque Police Department, as well as the Mexican cartel, who Albuquerque Police Department and the United States Air Force pilots are helping destroy our community, murder everybody, rob everybody, and steal their identities. And so the United States Air Force are currently in Albuquerque Police Department, Burlington County Sheriffs, and New Mexico State Police are also helping Islamic crime syndicates like Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, Jihad, Al-Qaeda, to murder Americans and steal their identities, to overthrow the United States President Donald Trump and have him assassinated. So we have a lot of traitors at Kirtland Air Force Base, Albuquerque Police Department, Burlington County Sheriff's Office, New Mexico State Police, and Albuquerque Fire Rescue, and Burlington County firefighters. The Burlington County Fire Chief quit because of my inquiry to sleeper cells and murders by Albuquerque Fire Rescue and Burlington County firefighters. So I was just downtown and I was trying to get to my destination, and I ran into some dirty cops, and so they sent pretty much they ordered pretty much like the whole city to pretty much kill me because I had a Star David, because I'm a Jew from Israel. The real Israel is here in the United States and New Mexico and Arizona and California. So I'm a real Israeli princess, one of the last Israeli princesses in the world. And my mom is Israeli queen. And so I'm just downtown trying to catch the bus, and I live in a shelter because the United States Air Force and Albuquerque Police Department, Burlington County Sheriff's, New Mexico State Police, and Albuquerque Fire Rescue and Burlington County firefighters tried to murder me on several occasions with military contractors, the Mexican cartel, and Islamic crime syndicates at a hotel. And these Mexican cartel women just kept breaking into my room and having their Mexican boyfriends jack off on the wall and leave pennies everywhere, and ended up poisoning my entire room, clothing, and ceilings and everything like that. So I had to report Wood Spring Suites at 13001 Central Avenue, Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87123, to the United States Secret Service, Central Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, ICE, as well as National Security Agency, Department of Justice, for poisoning guests at the hotel, breaking into the rooms, hacking accounts, as well as projectile weapons that were chopping off legs and arms, possible bombs, explosives, and the entire management was involved. They had all their kidnapping vans and trailers in the back, and I mean, these people think they're big and bad because, these are corporate gangs, so we're another sleeper cell, over here, another sleeper cell over here at, Copper, right by, Diane Park. And so the Mexican cartel girls and the Islamic girls were telling me about, these houses that are over here that there was poison dripping from the ceiling. And so, the managers, her name is Justine, Velasquez, and, yeah, she, took over the job from the other managers who got fired, well, not really fired, but transferred out of here because they were murdering everybody. And so pretty much they just gave it to, some Mexican cartel women that just continued the hell. Now they have like an Islamic, terrorist down there, and, bringing in all the Islamic terrorists, rapists, and murderers. But I do believe people change, so maybe, hopefully, they'll change and, not, do what those women want them to do, but you know how it is. But, so, we've been here for, about 10 years now, and been through several, like, just weird episodes with, fluids dripping in the ceiling, and then, just, lately the air conditioner is weird. It was blowing, like, hot heat, and so, started talking about it, and all of a sudden, it switched, so, obviously I have people here, they're controlling the, the poison and the air conditioners and everything like that. What's weird is the air conditioners on the ground, so you can do whatever they want. So, it's a scary situation, so, had to, make some reports, because if they're doing this, here, I sensed a couple, drops of fluid from the ceilings. Probably have to reduce ceiling and, put up some, plastic tarps, to catch the poison. That's all you had to do is put up tarps and with push pins, and then boom, that problem solved. But unfortunately, my loved one took them down because she thought it was crazy, and that's often the response. But it's really heartbreaking because all of the pilots in the United States, coming through are involved with all this terrorism going on at these sleeper cells. I mean, they do nothing to help me. I'm the daughter of a United States Army military police officer who defended fighter pilots and C-130 pilots, helicopter pilots in Vietnam, and pretty much all these pilots have just pretty much spent their whole life like trying to kill me, and my drive the men around me crazy to either kill me or kill each other or kill themselves, and that's all they do. It's just like a non-stop torture program because they're women at Kirtland Air Force Base and over at Fort Carson started targeting my family because my dad was a prestigious defense intelligence agent, and they're jealous. They become very, very jealous because they're never gonna be in the top 10 of American intelligence testing. So these women, they become very jealous because they're a bunch of nobodies. So, we got a bunch of nobodies at Kirtland targeting everybody. And then Albuquerque Police Department, Burlington County Sheriffs, and New Mexico State Police. Then you have Albuquerque Fire Rescue and Burlington County firefighters. And then you have the ambulance companies, apartment complexes, houses. I know a woman who has a house, and they're doing this to her. And so it's really stupid because when the word gets out, and it's easy to write ICE or the Department of Justice and also Housing and Urban Development Director, as well as Central. The poison they've been throwing on me has been really tired, and they've been doing this for years, and it's a rough thing, but I made it through, and I mean, at least I'm alive, and it's always like really different kinds of poison. And Albuquerque Police Department pilots even came over here about 4 in the morning to see if I was dead, you know. And they're always amazed I'm not dead. Well, I'm like a poison snake because I was exposed, secondary exposure to Agent Orange, Agent White, Agent Blue, napalm that my dad was exposed to in Vietnam, drinking river water to transport fallen U.S. Army West Point soldiers through the battlefield during the conflict, and escort West Point generals, and he's recommended for the Congressional Medal of Honor. So all of these women and rapists, men, like all these rapists in the military and law enforcement, they gang up with all these international crime syndicates and go after Americans. And this is a worldwide thing, so they have their terrorist organizations within American agencies. So all of the law enforcement in Mexico is completely sold out. We have no troops in Mexico. We have no law enforcement. We have no pilots. We have no firefighters. There are no real men in New Mexico. They are all part of it. And especially all of the American pilots, the private pilots, law enforcement pilots, all the military pilots in New Mexico are involved. They constantly follow me around. They never offer to help. They never said anybody help me. They never called anybody help me. I'm not kidding. Not even with a blanket or anything, like, you know. But what's funny is that all of their informants tell me everything and warn me about these people. You know, that they're liars and frauds. So I'm sorry the light's not on, but for some reason the light won't work on my phone. I guess they don't want me to record just how bad the injuries are again. And this has been going on for years. Everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? And it's no big deal. I'm so used to it, but it's exhausting. Not only my skin, my throat, everything. And fortunately, God has protected me, and I got 20/20 vision. And so you know, and they've been doing this. And Albuquerque Police Department has vehicles that actually trip poison on your way to jail. So you go to get to jail, you die. And they'll purposely leave you in there for hours getting poison. And yeah, it's just unbelievable. And then, you know, they have their, you know, Mexican cartel and Islamic informants and all their, you know, Chinese Communist Party informants, Viet Cong informants, Russian informants, I mean, from everywhere. Just doing like kidnappings, rapes, poisonings, breaking entering, tampering of food, water. I do believe the water is poisonous, so I'm going to be trying to get shower filter for my place, and also for the sink. And yeah, the women in office were affiliated with Mexican cartel and Islamic crime syndicates. I mean, they've been doing this for, like, past, I think, 3 years. And we did have to get the FBI back to this complex Los Altos Towers. And they just jacked the rent up to $1,700 to make it hard for the informants to stay. A lot of them had to leave. So, yeah, the ones in charge of this are the U.S. Air Force pilots at Curlin Air Force Base, Cannon Air Force Base, Holloman Air Force Base, and they're kidnapping, raping, and killing all of the ICE detainee women and children, and it's unfortunate. But, I mean, there's, ICE trusts them to do what they have to do, but, I've seen surveillance footage of the mountains around here. They're very bloody. They like to kidnap people from the casinos. They have contracts with the casinos for human trafficking. San Diego Casino, Athletic Casino, as well as Acoma, Pueblo, and as well as I forget the name of this one. Yeah, these Pueblos. I've seen the surveillance where they're transporting kidnapping victims to Highway 6 in the Cibola National Forest. I've seen dead bodies, just endless dead bodies, and it looks like splats, like, where bodies have been thrown out of helicopters just doing 30s, and these U.S. Air Force pilots and law enforcement pilots in New Mexico, especially Albuquerque Police Department, and the so-called, law enforcement, Burley County Sheriffs, and on. All they pretty much do is just go around looking for victims and watching people die. And, like this morning, a lot of people, died in their home from poisoning from the ceilings or the water, and they just go collect the body and, do their, dark web snuff porn rape films, and then, cut out the body organs. Also, PHI and, UNM, lifeguards, life flight, I should say, are involved, all the life flight, pilots. And yeah, they kill people in those helicopters. It's a scary thing, And I just thank God for the United States Secret Service and federal agents in Washington, D.C., because all these cops in Mexico are fake. They're all frauds. They allow sleeper cells full of people on life support machines. Some are embalmed so they can have sex with them longer. I mean, it's a real disgusting thing. Especially all these Air Force pilots, law enforcement pilots, commercial pilots, private pilots. They are all involved here in New Mexico. I don't know about anywhere else, but here, it's a real disgusting thing. I don't even have sex anymore because girls are getting, like, flesh-eating bacterial infections in their vagina and maggots in their vagina from all these pilots and cops and firefighters and all their Islamic and Mexican crime syndicates having sex with dead bodies. And that's all that they're doing all day long. So we got, like, an air fiesta in Albuquerque, New Mexico right now. And so the United States Air Force, Albuquerque Police Department, Burley County Sheriff's Office, and yeah, they and even the firefighters, Albuquerque Fire Rescue, and in Amish, they're trying to first of all, really hurt me and shove me in trailers. They couldn't do that, so they started poisoning. So, they followed me around, and I had to calm down. So, yeah, and the Albuquerque Police Department wrote me a ticket. I couldn't get on the bus, so shop downtown. I should call an Uber, but I didn't trust getting an Uber. So, yeah. So fortunately, I survived the night again, and it's just been exhausting. But this morning, I did catch several pilots waiting for me to die. And I mean, they never helped me. They never sent me anybody. I'm not kidding. Not even a bottle of water or a dollar or anything. I mean, they'll help all these crime syndicate women because they're involved with rape. They like raping people and murdering people and torturing people. That's their sexual turn on. So it's like pretty much if you're not a rapist and you're not into torture, then they're gonna kill you. You know, and the women hate us because we're not involved with rape and murder, and they think we're idiots, and they think we're dumb. They think that we deserve to die because they're sick in the head because they are raped by their dads and their brothers and their uncles, and these are child sex cults. And so, yeah, you know, it's just around the clock, you know, just killing families, killing the kids, so they can have their, you know, sex cult fun, you know, raping kids and turning them into mercenaries and sex slaves. It's really sick. And so they hate people like us because we have the power to put them in prison and kill them, legally execute them. So thankfully we do have National Guard from Washington, D.C. and ICE in town, and they are going to be rounding up these terrorists all over the city. They already shut down another sleeper cell hotel at Barcelona, or the 37th hotel. And this is because I contacted the federal agents in Washington, D.C. and I absolutely love these federal agents. They're gorgeous. I mean, these are the top gunners. So I encourage you, you know, if you are experiencing a sleeper cell, you know, you want to contact the housing authority or you know, CEO of the corporation, and then contact the U.S. Marshals, the CIA, FBI, NSA, and also you know, various you know, management within the housing corporations. However you can, just look up CEO of your apartment complex, or look up the Housing Urban Development Director. His name, I forgot his name, but his name is Scott. And so it's real easy to contact these authorities about the low-ranking trash. Like we have Mexican cartel and Islamic crime syndicates in our office, and they think that they're on a power trip just because they don't know it's been 3 years since, you know, the FBI from Washington, D.C. had to come in. They might have bought these two sleeper cells back here and turned them into a torture cell, because that's what they'll do. They'll take my whole apartment complex and raise the rent, make it impossible for anybody to live there, you know, for whatever reason, or they can even turn into torture cells. So now those terrorist sleeper cells were turned into torture cells. Now there's mold, bug, roach, all kinds of bug, rat infestation. I mean, you know, if people want to act like that, then they're, yeah. I mean, the federal agents, they can buy a whole entire apartment and just start torturing the terrorists, and that's what's going on. Pretty funny. And they don't even know it. They're that stupid, okay? All these terrorists, you know, they don't understand. You do not fuck with elite families in the United States intelligence agencies. And they never believe I'm an intelligence daughter because, you know, ever since my husband was murdered by these huge corporate gangs, I was struggling with drugs and alcohol, and had to quit my job and business and so unfortunately, because of all the mind control programs of the U.S. Air Force pilots and police pilots, it's just been very difficult on the men around me because they'll mind control all the men to attack you and just ruin everything, just bust everything up, and they can even mind control like all the men to hate you or ignore you, or also even if you have sex, they can mind control them. The sex is bad. No relationship ever works out because they don't want you having a man to protect you and love you. But they will allow all the rapist women and their daughters, their prostitute daughters, their murder daughters, to have the perfect life. And they worship all these women. I mean, they're so flawless. Well, they're poisoning and maiming and disabling everybody. And they think it's funny, and they think that these women are so beautiful. I mean, they worship the ground these women work on. Wow. I mean, these are their gods. These women, these pilots, they worship, these little girls, and they have sex with these little girls and little boys, so they worship them. So they're going to do anything. All of the American pilots, Air Force pilots in my time, they're going to do anything these women want so they can have sex with these kids and be allowed to continue to have sex with all these kids. That's a horrible thing, So I just woke up today, and I was just like, imagining all the people that didn't wake up today, And I just praise God that I've been able to save a large part of the community, And so up here, might be fluid stripping, so, these women in this office are now targeted in Washington, D.C., and they have no idea how serious this is, because they're playing games, they've been playing games here, and it's been, a lot of weapons, and flood in the parking lot, and weird people hanging around, and I haven't seen anything, but, it feels like there's, hot, dripping fluids from the ceiling. Sometimes it's hot, we turn it on, and one of the CARTEL girls and Islamic girls that lived here before, I saw her in jail because they always put me in jail for defending myself. So, but luckily my judges know what these people do, and they know that they're corrupt, and so they defend me. So, all these rapist women are just, the men bow down so that they have sex with these kids and their bodies. And, I pretty much mean absolutely nothing to the military in New Mexico. No military men help me, no law enforcement help me, no firefighters help me, even though I'm from 3 bloodlines, yes, of course, fire chiefs, military dynasties from every branch, and also law enforcement, federal agents. But what's great is federal agents in Washington, D.C. Are great. I don't really bother the federal agents here in New Mexico because I want them to survive, and I love them, and I don't want to jeopardize their lives by, having them in these sleeper cells and putting their lives in danger. They're in a hard and rock place because, most of the genuine federal agents cannot believe how far gone this is, because, real federal agents, this is such a covert operation, and, I want to save as many federal agents as I can, so I'm here in New Mexico. I just try my best to give them their peace, because, I'm scared for them. And so, I don't want them getting cut down or hurt or poisoned or ran over or stabbed or shot, because, I want them to go on, and survive, so I don't really bother with fellow agents, sure. So I'm scared for them. Because, if they come in here and, so it has to be the top concern of Washington, D.C. wants authority to really shut down the shop, and let the local agents just live their peaceful life. It's a difficult thing because if you don't really know what's going on, how can you do anything? You can't really prove anything. Even if there's cameras still, say they can edit the cameras or whatever, So I really leave the federal agents alone here in New Mexico, and, because it's a scary thing if they do know, because what can they do if they do know? They're scared. And it's deep. It's deep. If you are a real federal agent daughter, it's very dense. It's been very dense for me. And so, just grateful that I made it to today. Thanks to the United States Secret Service. It's Air Fiesta today, of course. I'm not going to be invited or anything. I'm never invited to anything. Because these women in law enforcement and military and all these foreign crime syndicates, they hate me, they want me dead because, I'm doing all the major shutdowns, with no money and no men and just the fellow agents of Washington, D.C., I never have some big old gang going on or, anything like that, because I don't need it. I got United States Secret Service in Washington, but yeah, so today I was taking a video because, of course, this terrorist from Mexican crime syndicate, her name is Justine Velasquez, total terrorist. She's a fat bitch too. She's like so fat. I just want to kick her ass all the time. I hate her, and I just wish she was dead. I hate this bitch so much. I want to kill her because the things that she's doing. And she has no idea what she's fucking with. So, had to name, these women in the office. And, I think the tenants here are scared and might be under duress. I don't know. But, I know everybody's scared around here, and I understand what the position they're in, because they could turn on the poison in their house, too. So, it looks like these bitches are mad just because we're surviving and we don't kill people. And so I thought I'd just take a video about this, it just feels kind of maybe a little drip, so we might have to put up some tarps. But I thought I'd just make this extra long video for people who are struggling in a sleeper cell, poison sleeper cell. They didn't turn on the poison for a long time, but I'm hoping that, we can try to put some tarps up here. And like I said, today's Air Fiesta, and I'm serious, they wanted me a part of their dead body circus, and I'm suffering from end-stage lupus from exposure to Agent Orange. These women and rapists in the military, the Air Force, and Albuquerque Police Department, Burlington County Sheriff, the pilots from New Mexico, they will never let me rest. They torture me around the clock. It's just horrible, And they got, sexual broadcasting. It's just the worst sex. It was just the worst of everything. No matter who I sleep with or satellite broadcasting, it's just the worst. I get it. I absolutely think so. I mean, I always knew this is the way it was, but I mean, I wanted to give them opportunity, and they just get worse. The pilots in Mexico just get worse and worse and worse. And we have the ugliest pilots at the Air Fiesta, just like the devil. And I will include this with the video, they just, I mean, they look like the devil. These are not generational pilots, because they kill most of them off. So we have all kinds of imposters. These are the worst rapists in the United States. These American pilots, law enforcement pilots, U.S. military pilots, firefighter pilots, life flight pilots. They're just raping and killing everybody. Loading people in C-130s and helicopters, raping them, killing them in the helicopters, throwing them out of the helicopters in C-130s on mountaintops. Mountaintops are so bloody. I'm just disgusting things. I'm hoping to get a car, like a rental, and go up there and take pictures and show the world what these U.S. Air Force pilots have been doing for probably 70 years. Yeah, in law enforcement. And I mean, they just have a field day, those rapist pilots. I mean, they're so disgusting. And it's not the same as maybe 15 years ago. We had honorable pilots there, and now the imposters have taken over Carlton Air Force Base. National security is jeopardized. They have Chinese Communist Party wives, Islamic wives, Mexican cartel wives. They don't care. They are into all these rapist women, because they'll allow them to rape kids, rape their bodies, and be gay, and tear people apart, and it's just gross. And I'm just grateful I've never seen it. But I have great, deep compassion for everybody in this neighborhood. It could be done tomorrow, and they don't have the power. They don't. So, I mean, maybe they have to be really hard to try to survive. But I mean, I haven't seen them ever do anything. But I know the situation that they're in. Because they do very, very horrible things to them, and nobody would ever know. So this is for all people who did it. I just cannot believe how happy these pilots are, and these law enforcement officers are, and all these firefighters. I think it's a joke. Then you find out it's not. It's real. Yeah, the vengeance from our God in heaven, Christ Christus. Germany, the Bavarian body, Masonic orders, vengeance from all Israel. And I never seen so much hate in my life. Because I got a starving cat. And probably one of the deadliest nights of my life. I mean, trying to get better so I don't lose my bed up my shoulder. But I don't know if I can perform. So they went too far this time. And APD, showed the evidence that, and the Air Force pilots and all the pilots in Mexico, I mean, they're flying over and waiting, you know what I'm saying, and wishing nothing good for me. Because, they want to please all the rapist women. I don't count to them, I never have. They make my life a living nightmare. I had to cut all my hair off because, all these rapists, pilots and cops and firefighter frauds fried my hair off so many times. So, sometimes I think maybe I should just get a buzz cut, I mean, I'm just sick of it. You know, and I know vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So I'd like to thank Christ today for my survival. So, my family doesn't have to be sad. I mean, all those pilots, they hang over me like vultures. They don't care anything about my life. They hate me and want me dead. Because my dad knew the truth about them, and I know the truth. And so I thought I'd share this for the public. But God bless you, and if you have any problems in your life with poison sleeper cells, violent sleeper cells, please contact United States Secret Service by email. Contact Federal Bureau of Investigation by email. There's FBITips.gov, as well as the United States Marshals by email, as well as Department of Justice. And you can find the online forms. And I just want to thank the United States Secret Service for your immaculate integrity and honor. And I'm so grateful to President Trump for rounding up these rapists and murderers and sending them to El Salvador to be executed.